actually thought about adopting. When a person decides to adopt, he or she takes the responsibility of raising a child that is not biologically their own. There are various reasons why people choose to adopt. Biologically, they cannot reproduce, or some simply want to help a child that's underprivileged, give them a new beginning. Did you know that Malcolm X, Mother Teresa, and former President Bill Clinton were all adopted? Adoption is a very beautiful thing. While it's also beautiful, there have been some problems. Children, according to the University of Minnesota, children who have been adopted, about 14% of them have been diagnosed with a behavioral disorder or a mental health issue. To avoid these complications, it is vital that the birth parents and the adoptive parents form a bond where it is in the best interest of the child. There is a saying that blood is thicker than water, which is true, but love is thicker than blood, and it holds no boundaries. There are several steps for the adoption process. The first step is to select an agency through which the adoption process will occur. The second step is to complete a home study. Basically, what a home study is you're learning about adoption and you're conducting a background check. The third step is to engage in a placement process. What that means is that you decide how you want to adopt, foster or privately, whether you want to open, semi-open, or closed adoption. Once the paperwork is filled out, you will be on your way to bringing your child home. However, adoption isn't as easy as it may appear on paper. The process is very lengthy and time-consuming. It can take months or even years to bring your child home. Not to mention, adopting is also very expensive. According to childwelfare.gov, the estimated cost of adopting is between $5,000 and $40,000. Now that we understand the process of adoption, let's dissect the several types of adoption. First, what is a closed adoption? Many understand that closed adoption means that the birth parents and the adoptive parents are matched through a third party, such as an adoption agency. There is no contact between a birth mother and an adoptive mother. The information between the two is at a minimum. But what most do not understand about a closed adoption is how official it truly is. If a birth mother decides she wants to meet her child, legally speaking, the adoptive parents have no obligation to honor any form of open adoption. Once the adoption is legalized, the birth parents have given up any right to be involved in the child's life. According to American Adoption, closed adoption is less than 5% of adoptions. The reason why closed adoption is so low is because people are starting to understand that it's in the best interest of the child to know their birth parents. Now, the most common form of adoption is the semi-open adoption. According to American Adoption, 85 to 90% of the adoption are semi-open. The reason why semi-open adoption is so popular is because there's a limit on exchange between the birth parents and the adoptive parents. They are able to exchange first names in the state they resided. However, last names and their address are kept confidential. What most people understand who have adopted and are considering adopting is that an open adoption does leave the door open for the family, with time and depending on comfort. The Minnesota and Texas Adoption Research Project has been studying open adoption for over 38 years. And with their data, it shows that adolescents who were satisfied with the contact they had with their birth mothers had a positive feelings towards them. They felt the contact contributed positively to their identity and had a desire to meet other relatives. Those who were not satisfied with the contact overwhelmingly wanted more contact with their birth mother and felt gratitude towards their birth mother for the adoption plan. Now, there are many myths surrounding open adoption, such as jealousy between the birth parents and the adoptive parents, child being confused, and the birth parents might want their child back, or even what if the birth parents abandon the child. Well, the chances of these myths happening are slim. The birth parents understand their role and are truly happy to see their child happy. Most children who are adopted struggle with the whys. Why was I adopted? Why was I not loved? Why was I not good enough? With the birth parents there to talk to the child, they will get a better sense of who they are and find a sense of closure. According to AdoptionHelp.org, a child wanting to live with their birth mother is less likely, quote, children know their birth parents as they have no fantasies about their birth parents, end quote. According to American Adoption Congress, open adoption is designed to be a child-centered arrangement based upon the premises that humans need genetic continuity to attain a healthy identity. While people will always be worried, there is a reason why open adoption is on the rise. For one, heritage and culture. Children who have experience in open adoption will have access to backgrounds on their ancestry and culture. The child will get a better understanding of who they are and where they come from. Medical information. Having an open adoption is very beneficial when dealing with medicine. Information that only a birth parent can know. And number 3, questions being answered. Because the child has a relationship with their birth parent, they will feel a sense of closure, and the missing puzzle piece that was lost is finally found. What we have learned today is that adoption is a beautiful, enduring, and expensive process that puts a toll on everyone. We understand that there are several types of adoption, as well as the mental and psychological toll it has on the child. There is a saying that blood is thicker than water, which is true. Blood is thicker than water, but love is thicker than blood, and it holds no boundaries. While there is always a risk with adoption, and an even bigger risk with open adoption, the risk is worth the reward.